first. Look, you made eye contact. You messed up. What's your name?
Colin.
And what team do you serve on?
Harrington.
All right, so the first question is, what's your favorite memory from this past service year?
I think, here, can I just take this from you? Hello, everyone. No. I think my favorite memory from this past service here, our teammate Jordan put on a spelling bee, and he was, like yourself, a great host to the spelling bee. So that was maybe my favorite memory, was watching Jordan be the suave host.
Appreciate it. Who's next? Let's get... No, I'm not going to do my tee up like that. I will get you, though. So what's your favorite... Well, let's start. I already know your name. But what's your name?
Elizabeth Espiritu Santo.
And what team do you lead?
Roxborough High School.
So what's your favorite moment from this past service year?
I think my favorite memory would have to be recently we had a field day, and actually the IM at Blaine, he had a home run in the kickball game, and the kids, they went nuts.
Okay. And then I've got one more, but I gotta find what the question is. Let's go with, oh, Helen really don't want to answer this question. Helen, what's going on?
How are you?
How are you?
I'm good.
Okay, okay. What team
I
do
like
you
the
serve on?
suit.
Thank you.
Yes,
I tried
fly
to look
guy,
sharp.
fly guy. The school that I serve is Munoz Marin.
Okay, okay. So now the question I have for you is, what makes you proud to have served this past year?
What makes me proud of serving at City Year again is my students. I love my students. Everything that I see over the course of the year that I served, them growing as, teenagers and going into high school and seeing how their mindset has changed when it comes to certain situations and how they grew, and also, motivated me to grow in certain areas of my life. So that's what I'm very proud of, my students.
Love that, love that. So now we're gonna move on to the next award, which is the Cathedral, I need the second word, I forgot. Yeah, there we go, Cathedral Builder Award. Couldn't remember. Cathedral Builder Award, which will be presented by Darren Nettison over there. Look, Daryl.
Please don't ever call me Daryl again. Not that I don't love Daryl, I definitely do, and you are doing a great job. I would actually like for there's some very special people in the house tonight, as I'm sure the whole class of 2022 realizes by now. But I would really like to invite one of my favorite team leaders, and I've had more than anybody else in City Year history. It's not Emilio, so I don't know if you know who you're clapping for, but it's Gabby Mitchell. And the reason why Gabby is so special is because not only did she drive, you took a train from DC, which is at least 90 miles away, to come to graduation last week at Blaine. And then when I told Gabby about one of her teammates receiving the Cathedral Builder Award, which I'm going to tell you what it is. I'm sure you're wondering breathlessly, well, what is a Cathedral Builder Award? I'm going to tell you in a second. But she came all the way back to support somebody who I think deserves a lot of support and has been an amazing person, amazing human being. So I'm very excited to, present this award to you. But I'd also like my team from Blaine. I know you're going to hate me for this, but would you all mind joining us on stage? And you could just awkwardly stand over here. Just awkwardly stand over here. It'll be okay. It'll be okay. I appreciate Jameer doing some crowd participation. I would also like to do some crowd participation. I'm going old school Daryl with this as a stand-up, sit-down. So the way this works is, if you don't feel comfortable standing up, which some people, it's totally fine, just raise your hand. If the statement applies to you, it's a way to gauge the room, it's a way to see who I'm talking to, that kind of stuff. It's important to me, I think it's important to all of us. So stand up if you watched the Warriors win the world championship last night. Okay, so, some people, okay, stand up, or sit, you can go ahead and sit down. Stand up if you saw Steph Curry receive the MVP award after the game. Okay, and the people aren't standing up, raise your hand. Okay, I see a couple people. He cried. He cried like my 11-year-old daughter Nikki cries when Jack refuses to stop giving her scary faces. Like, you know, like a young girl. It was so beautiful to see. It was so beautiful to see him crying and being the man that he is, and being the MVP that he is, and being man enough to cry on national TV. It was just a beautiful sight. So I really appreciated that. Okay, now we're not gonna talk basketball anymore. We're gonna talk baseball. I'm gonna get the Cathedral building in a second, Zach. Hold on. Okay, stand up if you were at the Phillies game. Stand up if you were at the Phillies game. Okay, City Year sent you to the Phillies game in some questionable seating arrangements up under the hottest place you could possibly be. Anyway, stand up or raise your hand if you stayed the entire game. Okay, you people are the survivors. You're the survivors, and everyone in this room is a survivor because you survived City Year. City Year and baseball are very similar. You know, the game sucked. Let's be honest. The game sucked. For 4 hours, it was horrible. Nothing happened. One swing of the bat, we went from 0, we were down, it was 1-0. We went from 0 to hero. We went from 0 to hero. And that's what I'm here to talk about tonight. I don't even need this speech too much to talk about it. We're here to talk about heroes tonight, okay? And that's what I'm going to talk about. But before we get into that, enough with the stand-up, sit down. Cathedral Builder Award, okay? This is an esoteric award. It only happens at City Year. I asked my dad, did you ever hear of Cathedral Builder Award? He said, no, I never heard of that. He said, we have that at City Year. And he said, what is it about? And I said, well, I have it. It's funny that you asked because I have it in this book. This book here is called The Idealist Journey. This is the 2016-2017 version. It's right in this book on page 43. Okay, I'm going to look up page 43. I think it's important to know what you're getting an award for, Zach. So here's the Cathedral Builder Award. Cathedral building. There was once a traveler who journeyed all over the globe in search of wisdom and enlightenment. In the midst of one village, he came upon a great deal of noise, dust, and commotion. He approached the nearest laborer and asked, "Excuse me, I'm not from this village. May I ask what's going on here?" The laborer replied curtly, "Can't you see? I'm busting rocks." The traveler approached a second laborer doing the same thing and asked the same question. The second laborer replied, "Can't you see? I'm earning a living to support my family." Then the traveler approached a third laborer who was also breaking up rocks and posed a question a third time. With a broad smile and a gleam in his eye, the third laborer replied with great pride, "Can't you see? We're building a cathedral." So now you're probably, like me, more confused than ever. Here's the deal with the cathedral builders, okay? They're talking about the cathedrals that were built in France, south of France. They often took 100 years to build, okay? So these guys busting rocks, they ain't never stepping into the church. They're never going to see the church. But they're working on something that's, you know, you'll see the fruits of your labor in the future, okay? So I wanted to explain that and take the time. Thank you for indulging me, because you cannot ask Siri. You can't ask Alexa. You can't ask Google, okay? Some of these things you just have to, you know, realize that it's City Year and this is what it's about, okay? It's not always about the fruits of your labor. Graduation was last week. You know, I don't know if you got a lot of thank you notes from students or you saw a lot of students go from F's to A's. We call that grade recovery. It's not about that. Sometimes it's about the labor itself. It is definitely a labor of love. 4 years ago, this week, 2019, pre-COVID-19, but not really pre, as we came to find out later, Zach Davis, Zesty Zach Davis, that guy sitting right there, was sitting exactly where you're sitting. Okay, he was graduating from City Year. as a member of the Blood, Emotion, Sweat, and Tears team, the BEST team. Gabby's representing it at all times at Blaine. So he graduated. 2 days later, Zach was playing a basketball. He's actually a very good basketball player, as is Eclectic Emilio over here. He was playing basketball, and he had a seizure. And the next thing you know, he went to the hospital to find out he had brain cancer. Capital B, capital C, cancer. Now, if you're anything like me, if that happened to me, I know the last person I would be thinking about is anybody else, not Zesty Zach. Soon after Zach's miraculous operation, treatment, and recovery, Zach decided it was time to revisit his 4th grade students who were now in 6th grade, students like Mackenzie and Mahogany and Josh. It was during the pandemic's early stages, no vaccine, no cure, just confusion. Anyway, Zach showed up on Zoom, and immediately students' faces lit up. People actually turned on their cameras. They turned on their cameras, and a connection was made in a socially distanced and anxious age. That is a victory. But Zach didn't stop there. After making himself incredibly vulnerable and sharing his story of triumph over adversity, he shared pictures of himself fishing and climbing the mountains and reaching the apex and realizing it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. Instead of just surviving, Zach started thriving. And instead of focusing on him, he focused on others. And he saw an opportunity to connect with students on Zoom. Not just his students, but all the students at James G. Blaine, which is a K through 8, so we're talking about little kids all the way up to 14-year-old little bigger kids. Zesty Zach single-handedly decided to be his own revolution, but he knew a revolution usually takes at least 1 or 2 more people, so he decided to recruit and inspire first-year med school students, at least 20 of them, and this is how they gave back. They listened. They listened. They came to school with no agenda. They came to school and they asked the students, what do you all want to listen about? What do you want to hear about? What do you want to learn about? Do you want to know even what a vaccine is? Where does it come from? Anything like that. Those are the questions they had. How does social media impact the brain? Let me tell you, it ain't pretty. But whatever the students wanted to learn about, that's what these 20 med school students, inspired by this young man right here, went back. And they're med school students, very busy and have lives of their own, went back free of charge and came up with lessons and came back into the classroom. And that's what they did. And that's the pilot program, and that's why we're calling it a Cathedral Builder. The students learned things like medicine, science, pyramids, social media, viruses, video games, blue light's effect on the brain. Apparently, it cuts right to the back of your skull. Zach recruited over 20 students, I think. They built a bridge across the divide of social distance and listened to students about what they wanted to learn. All 20 of these medical students did this, all because of that guy right there. And this, I think, is a huge victory, not only for Zach, but for all the students that were inspired by people just like Zach, just like every person in this room, coming back to Blaine and telling students it's okay to talk to doctors. It's okay to say something other than I feel some type of way. It's okay to say what that way is and reach out to help and get the help that they need. Especially, don't forget, we're talking about in the middle of the pandemic, okay? This is all happening in the middle of the pandemic. I'm hoping that it will continue in person because we found that it's much more powerful in person, like everything else. But anyway, with that, that's why we're inviting you up here to receive the Cathedral Builder Award from City Year. Very deserving, Zesty Zach Davis. I forget your middle name. Come on up here, buddy. Very deserving, very deserving. This is the award. Oh wait, Jack, we gotta take a picture. Take a picture. He doesn't like to be in the spotlight. Let's do this quick. Miles, somebody. Thank you, dude, seriously.
All right, thank you guys. All right, our next presenter will be Chelsea Brown, Acme Director, to present the Comcast NBC Universal Leadership Award.
Hello, everyone. Congratulations. I'm honored to announce this year's award winner of the Comcast NBC Universal Leadership Award. This Corps member is part of a small and mighty group of City Year AmeriCorps members who have gone beyond the typical journey of an AmeriCorps member to serve 3 consecutive years. They have held every possible role a Corps member can at City Year. They began their idealist journey as a first-year Corps member in 2020, returned as a second-year Corps member in 2021, and are currently serving as a senior AmeriCorps member team leader in 2022. Their name is known school-wide. Every scholar and staff member at their school knows who they are and where to find them. Since the start of their City Year journey, they have leaned into the principles of our organizational value, students first, collaboration always. I seldom meet leaders like them who have zero tolerance for any behaviors or actions that are not for the benefit of their students. I have witnessed them leverage this value in service of their actions as they advocated to school and City Year staff for resources and practices that meet the unique needs of the young people they serve. They do not hesitate to engage in conversations about diversity, inclusion, belonging, and equity. Their courage to not compromise on their beliefs regarding equity and justice is inspiring and motivating. They go above and beyond in their creative approaches to rallying their teams, students, and the entire school community. Their humility and intense care have won them praise from leaders from their city year and from their school. We are all better leaders because of the contributions they have made to various levels of their service, whether in the schoolhouse, affinity groups, coordinator roles, village leadership, or their time on Corps Council. Their team would not have achieved the success they have seen throughout service if they were not behind the scenes, cultivating agency and leadership. For these reasons and many more, I am excited to present Tyria Barnes with this year's Comcast NBC Universal Award.
All right, next up, we will have Impact Director Stephen Tyson, Deanna Derry, and Aaron Odell to present the Greatness Award winners.
So next, we would like to recognize some of our exceptional Corps members with the Greatness Award. These Corps members have exceeded expectations. Not only have they consistently given their all to the community, they have done it with enthusiasm and positive energy. They serve selflessly without expecting anything in return. It is our pleasure to recognize these individuals, and when we call your name, please come to the stage and stay until everyone's name is called for a group photo. Let's get started. So some teams have difficult jobs. In fact, all of our teams have difficult jobs. They're rewarding, but they're quite difficult. This team has been in a constant state of flux and challenge this year. From school climate to IM transitions, they have weathered many storms in these almost 10 months. None of this would be possible without this AmeriCorps member. They faced each challenge with joy, passion, and built strong relationships with each team member. With students, they are a caring mentor and persistent tutor. With staff, they are an effective and clear communicator advocate, and connector. With their team, they are open, and they are a confidant, an encourager, motivator, and organizer. They see where we're headed, and they chart a path for us to get there successfully. So Lydia Izzo, we would like to thank you for your leadership and your commitment to service.
All right, next. Their team adores them. Their students always come and tell folks how much they love having them around, and they are constantly thinking of the best ways to engage students and the school community. They made such an impact at the school that they have been offered 2 jobs within the last 2 months because school staff wants them to stay in their community. When the school had to go virtual, it was smooth sailing because they had everything already planned out. They truly embody what it means to serve and what it means to be not only an ACM, but a team leader. I cannot thank them enough for the amazing work they've done, not only for their team, but for their impact manager as well. Tessa Hannigan, thank you for your dedication to City Year.
All right. Hey, folks. So since joining our community as a first-year Corps member, the best way to describe this Corps member is as great. They are an awesome teammate, role model, and leader. In 2 years of service, they have demonstrated a strong commitment to the qualities of this award. They understand the needs and unique experiences of our scholars and advocates to ensure they receive the support they deserve to become their best selves. As their team's Trust and Joy coordinator for 2 consecutive years, they have gone above and beyond to ensure that their team fosters a sense of belonging and understanding and care. Whether they know it or not, or intended it, Ray's leadership has positively rippled to his teammates and scholars last year and now. So congratulations to Ray Deschamps. Thank you for your positivity. Ray's not here, so I'll be accepting on his behalf.
I'm back again. This final Greatness Award has shown outstanding leadership skills over their service year by being a positive influence and motivating the CE team and pursuing through adversity throughout the year. Although the constant changes and regrouping might be challenging, they come to service each day with a positive attitude and ready to lean into the changes ahead. They consistently go above and beyond the expectations of a Rackham and approaches challenges with a positive attitude. Andrea Barajas. Thank you for civically. Thank you to all of the Corps members who were nominated for this year's Greatness Award as well.
Congrats, everyone. Before we move on to the next part of our program, I'm coming back into the crowd. I'm coming back. All right, I'm going to Southwark. Sarah K. All right. So my question for you is, who's the funniest on the team?
The funniest? Oh man, it's hard, but I gotta give it to John A. Come on.
Who's up next? Oh, I want Rami. What's going on, dude? Rami, tell the people what team you serve for.
Elkin.
All right, my question for you, who do you think is most likely to continue working for City Year?
On my team?
Sure, yeah.
Carissa Cavalonga.
I can't even be mad at that. All right, let's go here. All right, what is your name?
I am Josie.
All right, and have you? I can tell you've served on City Year before, right? What team did you serve for?
I'm a James G. Blaine.
Okay. My question for you is, who had the best can-do attitude?
Tasia, without a doubt, Tasia.
I just noticed I got nominated for an award. I'd like to know who was on the committee that I didn't win. All right, so our next portion of the program will be our recognition of the graduates. So would you please welcome Carly Highsmith, Senior Director, Impact Delivery, to the stage to present our graduates.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is the moment you've all been working towards for the past 10 months, graduation. So before we move into recognitions, I have a special message from our Managing Director of Impact, Dawn McCrae, who couldn't be here with us today. Her message reads, I am so sorry that I'm sidelined from today's celebration. Although I'm not in person to celebrate with you, please know that I'm cheering you on virtually. Thank you for making the decision to serve with City Year Philadelphia. I hope you realize how important your service was and know that your impact will ripple for many years beyond today. Stay safe, be well, and continue looking for ways to make our communities better. Dawn. So we're going to recognize each school individually. When I call your team, please stand. When I call your team name, please stand. We will cheer for each team after their name is called. All right, so first up, the team at Alexandra K. McClure Elementary School, led by Impact Manager Kira Farrell and Team Leader Casey Nugent, team sponsor Wells Fargo. And next up, we have the team at Avery D. Harrington Elementary School, led by Impact Manager Eli Prosper and Team Leader Celiana Saradu, team sponsor EMC Foundation. Okay, now the Civic Engagement Team, led by Impact Manager Amanda Santiago. Next up, we have the team at Edwin Forest School, led by Impact Manager Kara James and Team Leader Asia Spence. Team sponsor Atkin Gump, program sponsor PWC. And the team at James G. Blaine Elementary School, led by Impact Manager Darren Nedison and Team Leader Amelia Weber, team sponsor CSX. And next we have James J. Sullivan School Team, led by Impact Manager Kate Gaskell and Team Leader Tessa Hannigan, Program Manager Wawa Foundation. All right, John F. Hartram School, led by Impact Manager Monique Edwards and Team Leader Bridget Posel, sponsor Comcast NBC Universal. And then we have Kensington High School team led by Brianna Calderon and team leader Courtney Yu. Team sponsor Taco Bell Foundation. The team at Lewis C. Cassidy Academies Plus School led by impact manager Deanna Derry and team leader Peter O'Malley. Next up, Lewis Elkin Elementary School team, led by impact manager Carissa Capolongo and team leader Amber Davis. Followed by the team at Lewis Munoz Marin Elementary School, led by impact manager Amy Seaver and team leader Heather Ramsey, program sponsor Aramark. The team at Mary McLeod Bethune Elementary School, led by impact manager Tim Schmidt and team leader Tyria Barnes, team sponsor Ballard Spar, program sponsor North 10. The team at Alney Elementary School, led by impact manager Callie Umapeg and team leader Sheree Miller, team sponsor First Trust Bank. Russell Byers Charter School team, led by impact manager Anita Dumas and team leader Miles Hinsey, program sponsor Cozen O'Connor. The academies at Roxborough High School team, led by impact manager Shantae West and team leader Elizabeth Espirisanto, program sponsor Deloitte. The team at Southwark Elementary School, led by senior impact manager Sarah Richmond and team leader Janae Brown, team sponsor Lincoln Financial Foundation. Tanner G. Zuckery School team, led by impact manager Egypt Worthy and team leader Diamond Rodan, team sponsor Glenn Mead. And last but not least, the team at Warren G. Harding Middle School, led by senior impact manager Rob Fronta and team leader Lydia Izzo, team sponsor the Wawa Foundation. Let's give another big round of applause for all of the 21-22 City Year Philadelphia Corps.
All right, thank you. All right, let's clap it up one more time for the Corps. Before we have Daryl come back up and close us out, I have one more question for somebody in the crowd. Let's go this way. I want homie in the suit. Got to get you one more time. What's your Lacey plans?
I'm going to teach in a school next year out in Colorado, so.
Okay. Okay. That's good. Michelle? What's your plans after City Year?
I'm going to be a healthcare consultant at Deloitte.
Yeah, Michelle. Y'all think we can squeeze one more? You think we can squeeze one more? Let's see. Let's get all the way in the back. What's your Lacey plans?
I'm coming back with the CE team.
Very good. Very good. All right, so without any further delay, Daryl, with our closing remarks.
All right, good afternoon again, City Year Philadelphia, class of 2022, for the final time. So, this is a historical event, not only because it's graduation day and you finish, but it's also one of the very few times that the entire Corps and staff has been in one room over this entire year. Yeah, think about it. So, I want to note, though, of course, there are many people who aren't with us this afternoon, who've tuned in to support your achievements, our families, board members, service partners, elected officials, sponsors. Can we just give particularly our families a round of applause? And I just want to take a moment to thank our staff, particularly our impact managers, and all of you all who've done so much for this year. But we'll have time later to talk more about that. This is core time right now. It's about you all. So let's look back on what a year it's been. I was thinking about it, and I said if there was a t-shirt message uniquely created for this class, it would say, I served with City Year Philadelphia through a hybrid year of school during a pandemic, and I've got this t-shirt to show for it. Who knows what adjective you might insert in front of t-shirt to describe, but that's your call. We know it was a year full of twists and turns, uncertainties, unknowns, and change. You're one of the smallest cohorts to move through City Year Philadelphia, but you're also one of the mightiest. That's right. So let's look back. We started out our years together in villages and soon went virtual for our Summer Learning Institute. Then we were in schools with a magnitude of students who hadn't been in schools, and that hit us. You recognized that you were spending a lot of time trying to re-socialize them to the classroom, to engaging with their peers, to focusing on schoolwork, and much more. You did this while classrooms opened and closed, and schools opened and closed. Again, opened and closed due to outbreaks. Some of you were able to be supported in testing with staff, some were not. We went into the holidays and came out with spikes in cases. We had everyone move into virtual space to allow for the rates to decline. Some of you did this with your impact managers changing, or in some cases you moved through a year largely without one. Our mighty CE team transitioned MLK Day from an in-person event to a hybrid event, to a virtual event, to a canceled event, to what they achieved through all of our support with a very creative MLK Day set of events. And that's worth clapping up. That's worth clapping up. God bless Andrea, I see her laughing. She can laugh through anything. Good for you. And some of you kept going even after you lost students and teachers way too soon, or your school was tested in some other way, some other larger-than-life way. But you persisted. You stayed the course. We talked about the CE team pivoting the project to something everyone could participate in. School-based teams, you continued doing what you needed to do in providing supports. In a time when being comfortable in the school environment was critical for students to feel included and cared for, you organized, hosted, and supported 300 events, including appreciating teachers and staff, celebrating holidays, building spirit before standardized tests, hosting carnivals, and much more. You conducted 1,500 report card conferences for students who may not have even seen their report card, much less have had the opportunity to talk about it or build a plan to improve their grades without that conversation with you. In a time where staying after school had to grow on students while acclimating to be back, you hosted almost 600 students in 54 unique after-school programs. Let's clap that up. Let me hear each one of you say, I did that. Let me hear each one of you say, we did that. Excellent. And you were here for each other. You supported each other, lifted each other up. Sometimes you may not have liked each other. Okay, Roxborough. Let's debrief afterwards. Sometimes you may have liked each other too much. Don't tell me, I don't want to know. I want to remember you just as I see your faces right now. That's why I don't go to Corps after parties. In any case, I share all of this to say to you, thank you for putting students first, even when perhaps you needed or wanted to put yourself first. Thank you for caring and seeing the best in our students and helping them to be the best, to see the best in themselves. Thank you again to our team leaders, our project leaders, and our second-year AmeriCorps members who gave of themselves to share an additional year. And third year. Thank you for staying when others decided not to or could not. You've impacted the trajectory of students' lives because you completed this year. Thank you to our mighty mid-year AmeriCorps members who decided to take a chance and join us months into service. And thank you to the rest of you for welcoming them into our beloved community. Thank you for making sure that City Year can continue to be here for kids through all the ways in which you engaged with our sponsors and our supporters. Thank you for being part of this family and for supporting each other through the good, the bad, and all the uncertain times. As a result of your year or years of service with City Year Philadelphia, I hope you are better time managers, planners, executors, motivators, leaders, team members, communicators, and conflict resolvers. I hope you found ways to successfully work with people who don't look like you, think like you, live like you, love like you, and that you are better for that. I hope you're more self-aware, patient, creative, flexible, idealistic, educated, and compassionate about the youth we serve, their families, their communities, their teachers, principals, and the issues they address. By being here today, by completing this journey, you are part of the City Year Philadelphia legacy. Our organization, our schools, and our students have been positively impacted because of your service. You will always be a member of City Year Philadelphia and the AmeriCorps families. You will always be welcome to come to our office as a home away from home. And the current one, we have 10 more years to be there, so we shouldn't be going anywhere. You should be able to find us pretty easily. I'm here to welcome you and to challenge you to remain active in the City Year community as an alum, whether you're staying in the city or moving to a new community. The connection does not end today. I encourage you to attend alumni events throughout the year, engage with our associate board, our young professionals, find some ways to stay connected. No matter where your journey takes you, as a member of the City Year alumni community, you will always be an integral part of the City Year family. And remember, we're in 29 cities, so there's ways to plug in. In so many ways, the opportunity for you to act on your idealism is just beginning. Remember, idealism is just seeing things as they are, seeing a better way to have them, and working towards making that a reality. I hope you will continue to seek ways to serve, lead, transform, and to utilize the skills you've gained at City Year to become leaders for life. Thank you so much for your service. Now I'd like to end our program by formally inducting you into the Alumni Association by leading you through the Alumni Pledge. So I'm going to ask all of our Corps members to stand. ask that you repeat after me. I pledge to put my idealism to work. Take action. Seek common ground. Generate positive change in my community, nation, and world. Do my best to make a difference in the lives of others. And carry the lessons and values of my year of service with me always. I am now a City Year alum. I am a leader for life. Congratulations. Welcome to the City Year alumni. And now, I didn't say anyone could sit down, but we're going to have people join you. As a final class, actually as a final community, we are going to do a touchless spirit break. So for our guests watching here who've not joined us before on YouTube, a spirit break is an energizing action that brings us all together. Like a sports team, we break on a motivational word or phrase. All staff, whether you're with our headquarters or Philadelphia, please stand and join us. In fact, all guests, everyone here, please stand and join us. And to do this, we want our hands out front, like so. We will bounce our hands 4 times while saying C-Y, Philly. And then we will hold our hand down while we say, class of 22, we out. All right? After you say the word out, you throw your hand up in the air and you say, woo! All right, so ready? Let's do this. C-Y, Philly, class of 22, we out. Woo! All right. So while that concludes our graduation program, and we thank all of those who've tuned in to join us through the YouTube channel, Corps members, we're asking you, well, alumni, we're asking you to stay tuned for next steps. Again, to our guests, thanks for joining us. Have a great Juneteenth weekend, everyone. However, for our Corps members, I love this follow-up announcement. I'm going to need you all to submit your timesheets. No, but seriously, if you want to get paid, you have to get. So before you leave the auditorium, you actually need to submit your timesheets. There's Wi-Fi information coming to the screen. Once you have completed your timesheet, please enjoy some final time together in the lobby. I think we have some refreshments there. And if you have any issues, please see Chelsea, who will be in the lobby. Chelsea, I hope you know that was written into the script. I didn't just say that. But thank you, everybody.